Okay. Amazing. So welcome everyone. Again, I'm Vanessa Hair, and I'm really excited that us mountain bike coaches can connect and collaborate, learn and grow with each other. I also run a professional mountain bike coaching company in Kelowna, BC, which is my true passion and gifting to bring to others. And I want to introduce you to Andi.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andi Mortenson. I run a branding design company called Epic Branding and Design. And it's been 20 years now. And I've also been riding for 20 plus years in North Van and in Kelowna. And it's my favorite sport. I'll ride any kind of bike. I think I have 5 different bikes, but downhill is my favorite. So Vanessa and I met through the biking community here in Kelowna, and we're happy to do our first webinar together for you guys.
Mm-hmm. And with that, as Andi said, she is the branding expert, and I will be talking about the marketing expert areas on identifying your brand in the mountain biking and outdoor industry. So for housekeeping, we are going to utilize the chat. So you can ask questions in the chat or just raise your hand for questions. We're happy to answer. And then again, Andi is going to speak about like AI and branding for about 20 minutes. I'm also going to speak about marketing for about 15 minutes. And then after that, please feel free to hop on the virtual floor and bring your questions, your challenges, what you want to work on. So we're here to help you in making you feel stronger and more confident, and just here to learn. So to start off, we're going to do rapid fire questions. And Andi, is there anything else that I need to add before we get going on that?
So just our understanding from you guys, just based on the questionnaire you answered, is that most of you are either starting a company or early on your marketing efforts. So we're trying to tailor our info that we're giving you based on that. But by all means, if you want more in-depth answers or you have questions to add on to this, please raise your digital hand or write in the chat, and we'll try to answer anything we can.
Beautiful. Okay. So I guess, it's 1 for 1 for rapid fire questions. So Andi, what's your first question for me?
All right. What's one quick win for mountain bike coaches to get started with marketing today?
Ooh. So one quick win would be website. So find a university student who does website design or builds websites and ask them if they are used to using Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, because sometimes university students really need to get their hours. And so why not try something with a collaboration for a university student? So that would be a quick win for starting up with your marketing.
Yeah, good low cost starting out for that. It may not have the flexibility later on, but it's good to get you going.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Andi, what's the core of a strong mountain bike coaching brand?
Okay, well, just like with any brand, you need to have a good foundation. So your mission, vision, and values. So your mission being, what are you here to do? Your vision, where are you going? And your values, which are closely related to your own values at this size of a company. And all of these decisions that you make as you move along your company will be based on these 3 core things as your foundation. So once you have that, move into your visual identity. So you want to have a strong, like a logo and a look and feel and fonts, and by all means, everything should be consistent. So that's my 3rd point. As you move along, you need to have that consistency that you can earn trust from your audience and build credibility.
Amazing. Yeah. And knowing your mission, vision, values, that is, like you said, the very first part of starting something great within your business.
Yeah, and we could talk about that all day, but okay, so I'll turn it over to the next question here. Vanessa, how can coaches consistently market themselves without taking over their lives?
Oh, isn't like, okay, who's a doom scroller? I don't know about you, but sometimes when we get into those like tunnels, sometimes you feel like marketing is just taking over our life. So my one take is to build your content calendar. It is going to take a few hours, in the very first part of the month. And then once you schedule everything out, that will save you time and money. and your energy of knowing what to do next.
Yeah, and if we have time to touch on this later on, we can show you how to create a content calendar in AI.
Beautiful. Okay, Andi, next question for you is, how can a coach's brand stand out in a crowded market?
So really like looking at what kind of unique skills you have and what's your unique offering to your clients. So your own personal skills, it could be something like you're a physio or you have experience working with kids. All of these things, when you build it on top of your foundation and your logo and all of those kind of things contribute to you standing apart. So when you have that specific audience that you're looking for, you can direct all of your energy into finding those people to help you stand out. Okay, so Vanessa, your next question. So what's the biggest mistake you see mountain bike coaches making with their marketing?
So I think the biggest mistake is we try to do it all. Like we want to wear so many hats all the time. And at the end of the day, sometimes we get burnt out. And so it's asking yourself, who's the expert in what identity that you want to be particular good at? So is it the coaching aspect? Is it marketing? Are you able to delegate different projects? And it's really understanding where your challenges are and pulling those challenges out to then bring it to someone else. So then you can have more of a freedom on working on your business than in your business to feel, to mitigate that overwhelming feel. Okay, Andi, next question for you. How does a coach figure out their niche and ideal client?
Yeah, so touching a little bit on what we just talked about, finding your niche, like again, that background that you have and the ideal client that you're trying to reach. What's your passion? If you really love working with kids, naturally you're going to gravitate that way. So for myself, I have a business with a niche in sports, and I've always loved playing sports myself. So I naturally gravitated towards that. I ended up getting a job at the Canucks in the Olympics, and that niche just helped form itself as I built my community and just started directing all of my messaging to that, which again was linked back to my mission and vision that I had originally created.
That's awesome. Well done on that.
Okay, so your next question. Sorry, it's sun pickup time, but I don't have to do that today. The social media, website, and email marketing. Where should a coach focus their limited time for the best return?
So I would say websites, because websites show your professionalism. It has all of the content, all of what you're offering in or on your website, and you can embed newsletters into your website. You can embed blogs, and blogs are lifetime. So whenever you write something, it will stay on the internet. And when you search up SEOs, it will pop that up. So websites are your number one. Landing pages, even if you have one landing page to start off, that's going to be really beneficial to show that credibility to your potential clients and your users.
Yeah, and to add to that with SEO, that's optimizing your SEO is definitely going to help you stand out in a crowded market as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm next. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have two last questions for Andi. What's the connection between a coach's personal brand and their business brand?
Okay, and I want to add that on to some success stories that I have for some businesses and Instagram personal brands. So I've had this challenge myself, because when you post just under the business brand, like on Instagram, for example, you lose kind of that authenticity and personal connection. So a lot of people are turning towards their personal brand to build up their business brand as well. And this is, we're talking about smaller companies. You can't really do this with like a Deloitte or something, right? But the person that's the face of the company is building the trust. So a few people that have done this well, I've met them through KidSport. They're amazing people. Brent Hayden. I'm going to share my screen here for a second. I can show you just quickly to get some visuals. So this is Brent Hayden's Instagram. And so he's built up an amazing following, over 150,000 followers. And he is a 4-time Olympian, you know, went through that whole process, won a bronze medal. And then what do, right? So he's turned into a coach and has these swim camps. And he goes viral quite often. He just has really great content. And I would say the same thing for Liz Gleedle, and she's a javelin thrower. She's offering so much valuable content for people, and you're learning, and she's not taking from people where a lot of Instagram or social media is trying to sell you things. She's really just offering a lot. And this isn't so much about visual branding, but you can see there is some consistency to what she's doing. The business that I think has done a really good job is Pedalheads. So everything is designed with the audience in mind, children, and it has amazing consistency. If you go and look at Instagram or any kind of marketing materials they do, everything's consistent, and the tone of voice is always consistent, everything. So yeah, I think they've done a really great job. This is an example of a company that wouldn't have one talking head promoting them. But when you're talking about a singular mountain bike coach running a business, then your personal brand is just as important, if not more important than the business brand.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, thanks, Andi. And one of the points that I want to just address is when we're looking at branding your mountain bike coaching company, look at different pages. So like Andi brought up the swimmers, and what can we gain from those athletic departments? So looking at different sports can sometimes help promote that excitement, or what are they doing instead? Because sometimes they might have different ideas that we can incorporate into your sport of mountain biking.
Exactly. Yeah. You can learn so much from just the parallels of your industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that was our rapid fire questions. Hopefully you all were able to get a little bit of a glimpse of what you can gravitate with this webinar. And then we're gonna go into just more of a lower level on marketing. I'm gonna be speaking about that. And then we're gonna transition into AI and branding with Andi. Before we head over into that space, does anyone have any comments, questions that we wanna address before we go into that? Anything? Hugo? No, we're all good? Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to talk about 3 different topics. So from that high level to more of the middle to low level. The first topic is time and consistency. So Andi kind of talked a little bit about this, and we might have some overlap within our discussions of being consistent with your brand. And how do we understand and utilize our time? Because I don't know about you, but when I'm out riding, sometimes time just bypasses. Is anyone with me on that? And you're like, oh my gosh, it's already like 5 o'clock and I have to get back home. Yeah. So being time aware is really important. One of the platforms that I like to use is Asana or Monday.com. And I'll put this in our notes. And so when we're scheduling, when we're identifying what needs to get done, our task lists, we need to have a project management tool. And so this helps streamline everything that we need to do to work on that business. And so I've dabbled in a few different platforms. Asana is my favorite. It's really user-friendly. If you're more of a techie person and want to get more nitty-gritty, Monday.com would be your best choice. Asana and Monday both have free trials, and then they have like a monthly subscription after that. If you want to go completely free, you can utilize Asana and Monday.com's format, and then you can just implement that into like a Google Doc sheet or an Excel sheet.
Vanessa, I'll jump in for a second. I'm using Asana for free, and I have been for years, and I don't feel limited. So yeah, you can totally use it for free.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you can use it for free, just like what Andi's doing. And so with Asana and Monday.com, one of the things that has really helped me is like working on your project management platform at least 30 minutes a day. And having that small, consistent effort will eventually build up, and you won't feel as overwhelmed when your writing season is coming sooner than you think. So sometimes what I do is like 30 to 15 minutes a day. I organize my social media posts, my blog updates, what's coming down the pipeline in my community for newsletters, and really being able to understand where's my audience coming from. So being able to also capture your mailing emails is really important. Usually people with emails will keep their emails for about 10 years, which is amazing. And so once you have that email list, you have it for a really long time. And that's how you communicate with your audience, because if TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if they disappeared, I want to ask yourself, like, how would I communicate to my audience if those didn't exist? But if you had their email list, you can still communicate about what you're doing within your business. So going into time and being consistent in your marketing and your branding, you can also do a free content calendar platform. You can prompt into ChatGPT, which Andi will kind of go through in a little bit. But there's also other content calendars that I can use for free, and I'll paste them in the comments below. So there's Trello. Trello is a free plan, and it has up to 10 boards that you could implement within your content calendar. There's also Notion. It's also free, and you can have more of a customization to that. And then Ladder is also a free plan, but you only can do up to 10 posts per month. So again, if these are limiting and you want to do more posts, you can then go to just a content calendar that you can manually input, or use Meta, which communicates with your Facebook and Instagram, so you can post on the regular with scheduling content. Does anyone have any questions about that so far? Is this like new information, repetitive information that you've heard before? We're doing well? Okay. So the second topic is starting to find your niche. So with mountain biking, I'm really going to talk into that platform of, there's all these different niches. So are we going to, what type of clients are we going to identify? What type of market are we in? And so my big point here is, don't try to be everything to everyone. And I want you to identify, like, what's your authenticity? Like, what's your passion? What makes you glow and like set yourself on fire of like, I love doing this. So I really want you to think about, who do you want to be to others? Because we can't always be everything to everyone. So with that, it's really identifying your client. So do you want to teach kids? Do you want to teach teenagers? Do you want to teach adults? Do you want to teach seniors? I know the oldest person that I've coached was 74, and it was quite amazing to see his ability soar, and the discipline that he had. So understanding what age groups you want to teach is really, really important for you to identify your ideal client. And also understanding, what type of skill levels do I want to teach, or what skill levels can I teach to really advance that client? So if you're feeling really comfortable with beginners, stick with beginners. And if you really want to enhance your coaching for intermediate riders, I would encourage you to connect with another coach, and you can even connect with a coach on here to shadow them or learn from them on, what skills do I need to do to become more of an advanced coach or skill rider. And the other topic of identifying your brand is specializing in different programs. So I know for myself, I specialize in multi-day trips. I also specialize in like kids camps and group programs and private lessons. So that for me it's quite full of what I have. And the reason why I've chosen that is I'm really trying to identify in my market what's going to stick and what's not. In Kelowna, the market kind of fluctuates. And so I kind of put it all out there, and then I want to see what I'm getting back. And then over time, I'm able to identify, okay, what's working in my niche and what's not. So an example could be like enduro racing. I know Sylvie and Pemberton, like enduro racing, downhill racing, like that's really big there. And so specializing in programs for that might be a really great addition to your business. And then the last part is targeting your market. So once you've identified who your ideal client is, what skill level you're teaching, what programs that you're going to specialize in, how do you get to those people to like bring them in to show them the best way possible for mountain bike coaching? And so this could be going to community centers. This could be really building a relationship with your news anchor or media outlets. I know one example that I can give is here in Kelowna. When I restarted my coaching company last year, I was like, I need to get the word out, but how do I do it? I'm just one person and one small voice. And I really developed a great relationship with this media outlet called Castanet, and everyone knows this media outlet. Well, they did a free 2-minute segment on me, and it had over 4,500 views in the first 2 hours. And A, I was really thankful that they did that for me, and B, it was because I always connected with them. I always wanted to be in touch with them of what's next, what's happening. And we built this relationship, this business relationship. And because of that, people are still coming to me today being like, oh, I recognize you from this like Castanet video that was done last year. And so really investing your time into having those coffee dates or those riding meetings can be really beneficial on expanding your target market. So within that, I just want to have like a little bit of a deeper level is going to your local partnership. So if you have like a city of West Kelowna where I'm at, there's a city hall. So talking to counselors or the public eye, politicians, taking it a one step further of branching out of the mountain bike industry and kind of filtering through who else is going to influence decision making, who else is going to influence people coming to a market of tourism. That's really important because it helps attract and engage others, because at the end of the day, word of mouth is the absolute truth, and people will trust their friends or people will trust their colleagues on this program is what I would put my kid in, or this adult private lesson is exactly what I needed. And so that will become better and grow through your connections within your network.
I'll add a little something to that as well, Vanessa. So when you're talking about your audiences, like you find your ideal client, your ideal target customer, but who are the audiences that will sign that person up, and where can you find them? So if you think about students, children, it would be their parents signing them up, or their schools where you can actually get through to the students so they know about you. So just different ways of thinking about things on how you're positioning your messaging and creating your partnerships, and yeah, where you put out your messaging.
Yeah, and thank you for adding that. So those are my 3 topics that I wanted to cover. The time and consistency, where to start in finding your niche, and how to reach new customers and expand your reach. And before I hand over the torch to Andi, this will also be in the recap email that I'll send on behalf of Andi, but I'm going to share my screen. I wanted to give you a snapshot of what, going back to marketing, a digital calendar could look like. So hang tight for one moment. Okay. Everyone can see that?
It's just, yeah.
Okay. So this literally took me 10 minutes, not even. So again, focusing on your time and your efforts. And it's the prompts that Andi will go through as well. But this is, I wanted to have the month. I wanted to relate it to mountain biking and the outdoors. And so I told AI, create me a March content calendar for mountain bike coaching and targeting the outdoor market. And so it populated from March, from March 1st all the way to March 29th. And it provided me about 2 to 3 reels or posts or stories a week, which is really important. If you post every day, sometimes that can overwhelm the algorithm. So I would highly suggest or recommend 2 to 4 posts a week. But some of the things that I really liked is, like, on March 6th, share a day in the life as a coach. Now, sometimes people think, oh, you have the best job ever, which we do. But at the same time, we have some really hard days. Like if you're on your bike 8 hours a day and you have to deal with, challenges that you weren't expecting, sometimes our days can be hard. But really sharing what the golden tickets are in a coach can be really empowering for others. Or the other one that I really enjoyed was on March 25th. So asking questions about skills, training, or upcoming clinics, and really having that engaged audience, because with scrolling, we really want to gravitate people's attention. And so if you have a question that you're answering for them, they might actually be intrigued, and you can bring them into, oh, what's more to learn that I don't know yet? So again, I just wanted to show you this content calendar. It's simple. It can be easy to do. And again, I really want to make sure that be authentic, be yourself. Don't be someone that you're not. And sometimes what I do is I record something and then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. But then I'm like, no, I'm going to put it on because that's who I am. I've made a mistake here, or I fumbled my words. That is okay. We are human. So don't spend too much time on perfecting it, because people will come to you for who you are.
Yeah, I just watched a reel today. Someone saying, you know what, if you spend too much time, like spend half an hour on a reel, you might as well just delete it, because you get way more engagement when there's a mistake. A good example was a colleague of mine was trying to make her video perfect and the dog barked. And so her husband's like, you know what, he's a social media expert. He put a pop-up of a dog barking, like a little video on that at the beginning, and that was the hook, right? So it was a mistake, but people were engaged because they're waiting for, like, what's going to happen here? Is a dog going to jump out? Or so yeah, you can use that to your advantage for sure.
Amazing. So I'm just writing some. So I know, Ken, you had a question. Did the AI provide the notes? Are you referring to the content calendar? I don't know if it's there. If you are, yes, okay. Yeah. So I put a few prompts in of like month, date, my target, keeping it simple, having like X amount of posts, reels, stories in a week. And so AI provided that for me. And then the part that you have to do is just find photos or videos and create those reels. And so it was really nice and simple to do that.
Yeah, we can show a live demonstration of that too. Maybe you've saved that prompt and we can pop it in to show everyone. But also, yeah, I'm going to run through some AI stuff here. I want to keep this fluid because I want to know what you guys want to know. So just to start off, can I get everyone just to type in the chat what their position is? Like what are you doing within the company? Just so I understand where you're coming from. And if you have any design knowledge or background, or have someone that does that. I don't know. Owner guide coach. Okay, thanks, Glenn. And if anyone has any experience with AI image generation, or is this brand new? If it's all brand new, just type new. Okay, great. Okay. So a lot of what I've done, I'm not sure if any of you are following me right now, but I've been doing all of these posts regularly for over a month every day. I'm putting up new AI things that I've been learning. And I've been focusing on image generation mostly. And I've done a lot of digital twin and character kind of work. So I wanted to show you kind of an overview of some of those things that I've learned. And then I'll open it up. Like if we want to take somebody as an example and generate an image together, we can do that. We can use an example from Vanessa's social media list. We can generate an image for that. So I'd love to get your input as I go through this. I have a friend doing the branding and logo. I'm an owner coach. I've been trying to work with it. I have a customer who gave me access to ChatGPT professional mode from his company, but I have no idea how to work with it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. We can talk about some GPT prompts too, if that's what you want to do. But quickly here, I'll do this overview and we can jump into questions. So what I'm going to share with you right away is just a couple of things on my Instagram, and I'll wait till that shares. Yeah, so there's so much you can do from like creating, this is a digital twin of me. I uploaded several photos and just asked it to create these different places with different lighting, and it was really simple. And then you can do things like create a professional racer from scratch, and sometimes does take a few tries, and I can show you a good prompt versus a bad prompt in order to achieve the best results. But like Leonardo Flow has some really cool artistic stuff. It'll show you, it's called Flow because it'll go through 20, 30, 40 to 100 or more images based on one prompt, and you can choose which ones you like best and then alter those. So it's been really fun to play with. The things you need to watch out for are things like with snowboarding and skiing, AI gets confused between the two of them, and it'll put the feet in the wrong position or the equipment's wrong, stuff like that. And then also you've probably seen like the 5, 6 fingers or just odd things that AI can do. So if you want to know how to fix those kind of things, I can show that as well with in-painting. You can take an image and animate it. It takes like 5 minutes, so easy. And you can take some imagery that you have already. This was just a standard original photo, a static one, and it created a video from that. So it's kind of bringing my portfolio to life. Here I created a digital twin or a character of myself based on the same accessories I had. And then, oh, sorry, there we go. Yeah, and then I animated that based on the photo. So it's super easy to do that too. And then one other, so here I created a character of myself, and then I had to change the outfit, and I changed the hair. And so there's all these things you can do. So just to give you a quick idea. So the tool I'm using for a lot of these ones is OpenArt, but there's so many, like the ones you may have heard of are like Dolly and Midjourney. There's so many out there. I like this one because it provides a lot of different example or different tools here to edit, to reference positions and poses and faces and stuff like that. So you can see here all the iterations I went through in order to get my Pixar character that I liked. And that's something that I did based on that photo. So I have that reference photo, original image. So you can see I uploaded that. This wasn't my favorite one, obviously has little ears on it, but I was trying to figure out why it did that. So I noticed I had a typo, a woman wearing a being hat. So I think that's why I got the ears. So you kind of have to play around with it and try to get the right thing. So some of them I had different colored hair or whatever. When I started with it, I went into this model or character area. So I uploaded that image of me. And then there's one that looks like Pixar in here. So here's Pixar cartoon, Pixar style, XL. So you use that as sort of a filter and it recreates your image for you. You can also do it in any of these photorealistic styles or painting styles. There's so many here. You do a caricature gnome, a felt doll. So lots you can play with that, just using the exact same prompt and just a different character or public model style, you get a totally different result. And then I used the one I like best, took out like an extra mole, changed the eye color, things like that. And once I was happy with it, I officially created a character. So I've got this in here now. Lee Pixar is my character. So I can use that and now say, I want at Lee Pixar to fly a plane or whatever. And it can do anything. And then I did one of just me in a regular photo. And by the way, that's exactly why I got that jumpsuit image, is because I'm wearing this dress with a zipper up the middle. So it really takes all of the features in this image. And if you're holding a glass, you'll be holding a glass in all your images from the characters. So here I'm going to show you a prompt that I did this morning that didn't work out very well. So all I said was a mountain biker jumping set in an Okanagan setting on a sunny day. So it's not very detailed, right? So I got these terrible images with odd shaped equipment, 3 wheels, like, right? Like some of this stuff, like it really hallucinates quite often. You get weird images. So I thought I would take that prompt and put it into ChatGPT. And so this is write me a prompt for an open art for an image generation. So I copied it exactly in here, what I used, and it gave me this. So there's a lot more information here, a colorful jersey, angled dynamically. I can go in and copy that straight back in here. So I put it into this prompt area in Create. So I copied it in there. I put it onto a model or character that was more photo based. So I used this Flux one because it's more standard. And then I copied that in there. And this is the 4 that I got. So you can see they're way, way better. And if I had selected, I mean, I can edit this to say it was a rainy day or whatever I want to say. And it will reflect that. But it's nice also to have the 4 different options because you see how different those are. So another thing is you can do a sketch. If you have a sketch that a 7-year-old did this, and it just created this out of this simple sketch. And even if you're terrible at drawing, you can come up with something pretty cool. Like I designed a sports stadium in just a few seconds in here. I've got that here. And you can turn up and down the creativity. So this is the creativity is turned up. And here the creativity is turned down because it's closer to what I made. So that's just one of the adjustments you can make. The other adjustments are the prompt adherence. So I've got this fairly low on this. So maybe it won't necessarily have golden grass or rocky outcrops, for example, here, but it might be more creative. So if I really wanted to stick to my prompt, then I would turn that all the way up here. And then you can provide image guidance. So on some of these, these are not successful, but I uploaded a pose reference for these ones. Oops. And let's see here, pose reference. So I found this picture on the internet of a baseball player, softball player throwing, and then tried to recreate that, but in a different stadium and different pieces that I had in the prompt. I struggled with this, wasn't getting that quite right. So I tried a different one. I got some better ones. And then, so you can see this is sort of a cartoon style, right? So that's because I had it in this style area. Model or character was a more cartoony one. So when I turned it to a more realistic one, I got some better results. Not great, but they look like photographs now. So this is, again, very little change to the prompt itself, but just changing the filter. It might be changing like the composition reference, which was a photo of me, which you can tell it doesn't really look like me, but it has long blonde hair. And then other things you can do, I was really trying to look at creating a character for, say, like a mascot for a sports team. Maybe it's even like some sort of mascot for a brand. Like even like RBC Royal Bank has a little dude that sits beside some of their text. So how do you create a consistent character that you can use for things like that? So first of all, creating a character that you like. And I had help from a 4-year-old on this. So she wanted a bear playing ice hockey. And again, you get some of these strange things happening, like the equipment is coming onto the wrong foot. But if you keep trying with different filters like this model character, changing the prompt, maybe you bring it into ChatGPT to help improve it. Some of these OpenArt or Midjourney or some of the other platforms have ways of helping you with your prompt as well. They might just charge you a credit or something, but that helps a lot too. And so here I went through, the kids love this, by the way. They're all sitting on my lap watching, trying to like get their way on my screen to be able to see what's happening. So there is a ton here. If I found one that I really loved, I could use that as a reference. So let's say I really loved this one, because this looks pretty cool. I could take that and have it as reuse the image. Let's see, do like a composition reference if I just like the way that he's standing, a sketch reference, we've got image to image, or I could even turn this into a video. So maybe tell me in the chat if there's anything here that sparked your interest. Do you want to see me create a video out of an image? Do you want me to to create more versions of this bear? Do you want me to see something like brand new that you come up with? If somebody types in an idea, I can try it right now. Or I can just keep going, showing you guys more stuff. Okay, Vanessa, if you can keep an eye on the chat and just let me know if there's anything that goes in there, I'll keep going for now.
I know Hugo.
Oh, quick video.
To create a video. Hugo, do you want to like create a video related to your mountain bike coaching company? Is there like other prompts that you want to, like what would be your niche? Like I know you teach kids. Do you want to create a video of you teaching kids mountain biking?
I like the video of, out of an image. That seems to be a quick thing to do. Yes, okay. So I think maybe one of these biking ones would probably be the best thing to do. So, okay, that looks cool. Let's create a video. And then I can show you after some of that while we're waiting for it to think, some of the other ones I've done. So we're looking at, okay, the prompt. We'll say the mountain biker finishes his jump and rides away. I'll just keep it simple. We could say that he crashes or something. You know, if you want to see that. The crash with AI, I don't think is going to work out very well. Creativity level, I'm just going to keep it in the middle and see what happens. And then you can choose your quality and duration. So let's hit create. So while that's going, I'll show you guys this. So that was that still image. I mean, it's not great, but it was kind of cool as a beginner just starting out. I hit a button and I got a video out of that. And what I said was, I've actually put a lot in here because I took this into ChatGPT. But I basically wanted her to be like deking out another player or faking them out.
Aisling brought up a good point. She said, and also Sylvie said, do you use these in social media? I feel like if people could tell you're using fake photos, they'd lose interest. Would that go with not being authentic?
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe like you just playing off the fact that you're using AI, just say, hey, we tried this, be authentic about the fact that it's AI and you're just trying out some new fun things. Like we say, like it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But you can create photos that do look more authentic and like the real thing. But maybe it's you're just creating a piece of scenery and you just want to have some text on top of it. You don't have to be posting up videos with like the equipment doing weird things and, you know, just it could even just be the flags flying in the air of a real photo like I showed before, like this one that's just going around the corner. So maybe I just have a static photo of your bike shop or the space that you're teaching, and then you just want to bring it to life a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Like one thought that came to mind is like having a picture of your group in the forest and then the trees moving in the background. Like that could be an example.
Yeah, just things to give it more of a dynamic feel. Yeah, it could be the clouds moving or yeah, just something like that. Because yeah, starting with a photo like this, it seems to be pretty good. This started with, why do I keep doing that to myself? This one started just like this. And it kept it pretty good. Like it hasn't changed the photo or the person, which is kind of nice. And a lot of times when you post something into AI, it'll change the face or the outfit or things like that. So
Andi, is open art free? Like is there?
No, so I think I did a trial on this one and forget if it was a set amount of time, but it's really cheap. It was either $10 or $14 per month. And I got all of this. I can create all these videos. It's 4,000 credits for a month. This one video is costing me 150 credits. So you can do quite a lot because each photo is like 1 or 2 credits that you create. So I've been going crazy on this and I still have quite a bit left. I've been creating, characters cost a lot. So Midjourney is similar. It's $10 a month. I've tried 9 or 10 platforms and only paid for a couple so far with just testing it out. Okay, our video is ready. Oh, that was pretty good. Got the dust.
Okay. Okay, what does everyone think about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll post that. For me, it makes sense to post it because I'm just playing with AI. So it makes sense for me. But okay, anything else that people want to see? The bears and stuff is good for kids. Yeah, if you're aiming for that kind of target market, right? It is impressive. Like I have a typo in here. Finishes. I didn't, and it still worked. It's cool. You can do. It still looks fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you're gonna get a whole like video crew out and do all like it's a big production, right? So just to get that shot, it might have taken a lot more time. I mean, in this case, you could have somebody, your friend, filming you, but in other cases, a big production would cost like thousands of dollars. If you can get something pretty good. I'm just a beginner on this too, right? So maybe there's a way to make this much more believable.
And I think just some of the questions that are coming in, Andi, that like the fakeness of it too, I think so that's a really good point. And it's choosing your audience or, you know, having that in the background of being like, we're just trying this out, or getting a sense of like, what do people want to see? And I think one thought that came to mind is like, if you're teaching kids or youth, like creating a Pixar of them riding their bike and, you know, sending it home, like in a digital format, sending it home to their parents, like how excited would those kids be? Like, look at me on a bike in a Pixar. And I think
Right.
even utilizing that could be something really important, because I know after my lessons, I always send a recap, and it will be different for different people. But yeah, for kids, doing a animated would be pretty neat.
Totally. I like the idea of using a normal photo into more of a cartoon, better for kids. Yeah. Oh, and so improving an uploaded video. There might be a tool out there. I haven't found one exactly that would do that, but I do have a tool called Topaz that can take any small resolution image and amazingly make it high res. Like it'll add details and add hair. Like when I've done this in the past, because I do large format wall applications, it's not great. You can see like kind of the edges of the pixels, even when you're using professional, there is a limit to it. So Topaz definitely can help you improve images. Videos, I also just learned about a tool yesterday. There's so many tools I'm learning about. And this one can take your entire video like this right now, and with AI, chop it up into the teachable moments or the key moments, and then export it into different formats and sizes. So for like YouTube or for mobile, like it'll be horizontal or vertical in size to what you need, small snippets. You have so much content. So we might have that after this. I can run it through Vanessa and see what happens.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, as you find that. So we have about 5 minutes left. And I wanted to just like bring it all together. If anyone has any other questions for Andi or I, in the email that I sent, you have each of our email addresses, but I'll send a recap email of all this information within the next few days. And yeah, if you have more questions, just connect with us. We're here to help support you. If with the animated creation that Andi's trying out, like that's super awesome. If you're wanting to do more of like the market, finding your niche, being dynamic in your brand, I'm free to chat with you as well within the mountain biking industry. So any final thoughts, questions?
We have some comments. So I take photos with my iPhone in live mode. When posting social network, can create mini videos. I love live photos. Tip Hugo. Nice. Okay, I think it's worth doing trades with a photographer. Yeah, for sure. Get a bunch of photos. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show this and share what's possible so you have an idea. You know, it might inspire you to do certain things. It's fun to play with. You just never know. Like this is a cheap, easy way right now. Everything is in beta or cheap right now. It won't be later on. So it's good to learn and play with this now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and thank you, Andi, for sharing your expertise in helping us mountain bike coaches. Mountain Riders Collective will be running another webinar later in March, and it's going to be talking about certifications. So I know there's some movement within the certification world with mountain bike coaching, and so we're going to be inviting some guests to the webinar to talk about that and like how to plan, what to expect. And on that same note, you can stay tuned for emails coming through on when that's going to be. And then with that, since I am a PMBIA member, they are having their AGM tonight. So if you are a member, they have an online link that you can sign up for. It's today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If that interests you, you can look into the notes that I embedded for the sign up. And that's all the information that I have for this group for this afternoon.
Nice. We're right on time.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for showing up. Like this matters. This means a lot. And I just want to continue for all of us to build within the community and support one another.
Yeah, thanks for including me as well, Vanessa. It's great.
Thank you for showing up, Andi. I appreciate all of your insight.
Yeah, great to meet everyone.
Okay, well, keep in touch and have a great evening, Hugo. And for the rest of
Thank
you,
you.
have a great afternoon.
Okay,
Thanks,
guys. See you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.